Okay, today we're going to make the popcorn stitch. So this is the popcorn stitch. As you can see, it's quite a proud raised bobble effect. Slightly different than a puff stitch. So this one's a puff stitch, and as you can see, the actual yarn is going in a different direction. It's a lot smoother, whereas the popcorn resembles more like popcorn itself. And it's definitely a more prominent stitch, so it depends on the look you're going for, whether you want a more prominent stitch or more bobbly stitch. What you'll find, they're both of these are done with double knit on a 4mm hook. So as you can see, for size wise, the popcorn is definitely a more proud stitch. Okay, so today I'm going to be using Stylecraft Special DK, which is in colour of Wisteria, which is a double knit, and I am using a 4mm hook. Okay, you can do it in Aran if you want to, but just go by the hook on the label. And to start off with this stitch, you always chain in multiples of 4. So if you're working out how big a piece of work you want to work on, always make sure it's divisible by 4, and then add an extra 2 stitches. That's one for your turning chain at this end and one for your turning chain at the other end. Okay, hopefully that will all become clear as if we get going. So to start off with, I'm just doing a small sample for you, but you can do whatever size you like. But you're looking to do on this one a multiple of 4, being 20 chains, plus an extra 1 for each end, so 22 chains. So if you go ahead and work up your 22 chains, and then meet me back and we'll start making the popcorn. Okay, so hopefully you've got your chain, and we're going to work in the second chain from the hook. So this doesn't count as a chain. Your first one's in here, your second chain's in this one. So that's your first stitch here, your second one there. And all I want you to do on that one at the moment is to do a DC, so a double crochet or single crochet in American terms. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. That's a DC. Now I want you to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so that's your starting point, and you'll do this is the same. We're going to repeat this all the way across. Your next thing is to actually create the popcorn itself. Now this chain 3 you're going to use in the next round, and it become clearer then why you do it. But to create a popcorn, so this is now the popcorn stitch itself, you need to work 5 trebles into this space. So to do a treble, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I always give it a little bit of tug to tighten it up a bit. Yarn over, insert back into that space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Next one, yarn over, insert my hook. Ooh, I missed it. Insert my hook in there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Next one, so I've done 4 now. That's my last one, 5. Okay, so I have a chain 3 here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trebles. Okay, pull up the loop on your hook and remove your hook, and I want you to count back and put your hook into the top of the first treble you did. So this is number 5 if you like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 into your first treble. So that's not your chain, that's in the top of the very first treble that you created. So if you put your hook in the top of that V, and then bend your work round and put your loop back on your hook, okay, and then you just slip stitch through. So pull your tension a bit to help you pull it through, and you're slip stitching through, pulling it tight, and that creates your very first popcorn. We now need to anchor that down to the chain, but we need to allow a gap because it's quite a big stitch. So we're now going to skip 3 spaces, so 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3, and this is our 4th one. And you're going to work a DC into that 4th chain along, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to work 5 trebles back in that space. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and repeat that 4 more times. So 5 trebles into this one. Okay, lose count, 1, 2, 3, 4, one more. Okay, you've got another fan shape with 1 popcorn next to it. So you're counting back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going into the top there of that V, bringing that round, hook it back on, pull the tension, slip stitch. Find your tail again, count 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going into the 4th one, which is here, and work a DC, chain 3, and back to that 5 trebles again. Two, 3, 4, and there's your 5th one. Okay, counting back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So you can see there, just to make sure you're really clear on that, and counting the one that the loop's in. Next one, that's 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's the top of that treble, not your chain 3. So you're inserting your hook front to back in the top of that V, bending your work round and bringing the loop over, pulling on your tension slightly, slip stitch through. Need to anchor it down, so 3, skip 3 again, 1, 2, 3. I'm going into this one, this is number 4 in there, DC. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both loops. There you go. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over and work 5 trebles into that same chain space. Make sure when you do your trebles that you try and keep them all the same height, because that will make the popcorn sort of bow out a little bit more. So I'm trying to get them all the same height, but just giving them a little tug because I crochet quite loose. And what I find is if I don't pull them down, then they're all different heights or thicknesses. And what you'll find then is when you have your popcorn, it won't be a consistent size. You'll have some that are a bit fatter than others. So I've done my chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove my hook, go into the top of the first treble that I did, twist it round, re-loop on, little tug to get the tension, slip stitch through. Now I'm going to skip 3 again, 1, 2, 3, going into the 4th one, DC, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, little tug again just to anchor that in. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and work my 5 trebles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what you'll find now is that the work is sort of twisting behind you as you go along. But that's fine, that will straighten out in the next row. So remove your hook, go back to your very first treble, top of the V's, twist your work over, put your loop back on your hook, slip stitch through. Okay, skipping 3, 1, 2, 3, going into this one, so that's a 1 from the end, look. So you can see, hopefully you can see that. This is my 4th, and I've got 1 more stitch there to end my row on. So this is the last popcorn that you're going to do. So DC into that one, same as before, chain 3, work your 5 trebles, your last popcorn of this row. That's 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, pull out your loop, find your first treble, insert your hook in the top V, twist your work round, loop back on the hook, pull your tension, slip stitch through. Now you've got 1 stitch left, one tiny little chain there. You can see him here, and that's why we did multiples of 4 plus 1 plus 1. So one was for the second chain on the hook, so we lost the stitch on the first bit, and your last one is so you can anchor down your last popcorn. So just work a DC, so insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and you might want to pull on your tail a little bit just to tighten that up, and that gives you your first row of your 6 popcorns. Now one thing I will point out now before we go on to round 2 is when you've got your popcorns and we did our chain 3, they're now at the back here. So if you look at your work, you'll be able to pull up your chain 3s, because this is where we're going to be working in the next round, and you're also going to be working in the stitch in between. So that's why we did a chain 3. It's not part of the popcorn as such, it's just so that we can do the reverse when we work round. Okay, so you now need to turn your work. We're chaining 3 on this round, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to turn our work on this one. And then what we're going to do, if you look at your back of your popcorns now, you need to identify your chain 3 space. So let's get this out of the way. So my popcorn's at the front or the back now, and that's my chain 3 space. So what I want you to do in that one, into that space there, is work 2 double crochets and then a half treble. So double crochet, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both. Do that again, so insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've done 2 double crochets in that space. Now a half treble. Half treble, you're yarning over first, inserting your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, and this time I want you to yarn over and pull through all 3. So yarn over, pull through all 3 there. That's a half treble. Okay, so in that space there you did a double, double, half treble. Now find the space in between, and I want you to work a treble into that. So yarn over, insert your hook into that space, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and what we're doing is creating an edge to work along on the next round. So find your chain 3 space. So it should be quite easy to see, although they do twist. So you've got your popcorn underneath and your chain 3 spaces are on the top. And we're repeating the same pattern before, 2 double crochets and a half treble, all into that one space there. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and then a half treble, yarn over first, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And what you're effectively doing is building up the height, because this is higher than the gap in between. So this area here is higher than this gap. So you're slowly building up the height. 2 small stitches, a half treble, and now in this gap in between, right in this hole here, you're going to do a treble. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. There you go, standard treble. And now we're moving back to our chain 3 space, 2 doubles, or single crochet if you're in America, and a half treble into that one. Find the space between the popcorns and work a treble into that space. And then we're back to our chain 3 space again. Make sure you don't pick up the trebles below. It's quite easy to sort of go in the middle there. You want that chain 3 space. So 2 doubles. And a half treble. And find the space in between and work a treble into that space. Run out of yarn. Next one, looking for that chain 3 space, 2 double crochets, half treble, all in that space. Find the gap in between and you're working a treble into that gap. Okay, last one. So yet again you're doing your 2 doubles into that last chain 3 space, 2 doubles, a half treble into that space, and then what you need to do then is find your turning chain, which is down here. Hope you can see that. So my turning chain was here, and you're working a treble into that one, so you're finishing off that pattern repeat. So you're going to go into this one and work a treble. And that's row 3 done. So now you've got a reasonably straight edge and your popcorns are all in a line below, and you're ready to do your next row of popcorns because now you've got some nice V's in the top to work in. Okay, so on this round, this is row 4. You're at the end of your row, you're chaining 1 and turning. Okay, and now we're going to create our popcorns again. So just like we did before, this time you're going into this first space here at the bottom of the chain. You're going to work a DC. So that's insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to work our popcorn. So that was 5 trebles all in the same space. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1. Okay, so I've got 4, 1 more. Okay, removing your hook, and you want the 5th treble, or the first treble you did, which is this one here, not your chain 3 space. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, or if you're looking down from the top, you count the one where the loop's in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going in here. This is where you want to put your hook. So insert front to back, your hook into that top of that first treble, twist your work back round it and put your loop back on your hook and pull your tension, and then you just slip stitch in 3. Pull it a little bit tighter to get that nice popcorn. And as you can see now, with my rows here, all my popcorns are in a line, but this one's sort of a bit wonky. So we need to anchor him down now with this one. So you're going to skip basically your double crochet. So this is, if you remember on the previous round, you did a double crochet, half treble, all into that chain 3 space. You skip those 3 stitches, and in the 4th one, which was your treble, which is the gap between the 2 popcorns below, in that one you're going to work a treble. Sorry, a DC. So you insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That anchors that popcorn down on top of the other one. Do your chain 3, and we're back to working our popcorn. So 5 trebles into this same space. Remember to try and keep your tension going all the way through so that you have consistent size popcorns. You don't want one bigger than the other because it will stand out. Okay, so I've got my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove my hook. Find my top of my first chain. So I've got 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going into the top of this one, bring it round, hook it on, pull your tension back in, slip stitch through, give it a little tug. You're skipping your double crochet, your half double, and you're going into your treble. So it's a 4 stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're DCing into that one, which anchors that popcorn down on top of the one below, and working 3 chains and then 5 trebles. Run out of yarn again. Okay, so I've got my 5, pulling my hook out, finding the top of my first treble, bending it round, slipping it on, slip stitch. Skip my 3 stitches, double, double, half treble, treble. I want to go in the treble, so that's a 4th stitch. DC into that one, chain 3, and we're back on a popcorn. And you're going to repeat this all the way across. One, 2, 3, 4, one more to go. Keeping that tension, finding the top of my first one, looping it round, slip stitching it through, skipping double, double, half treble, treble. My treble stitch, I'm going to go in here, DC into this one, anchoring that one down, previous one down, chain 3, and then working in the bottom of that space, that chain that I just worked in, your 5 trebles again to create your next popcorn. There you go, that's your 5. Finding my first one, slip stitching through, skipping double, double, treble, half treble rather, into the treble, DC into the treble, chain 3, and you're working your 5 trebles into the same space. Create your next popcorn and your last popcorn. Oops. One, 2, 3, 4, one more. Okay, remove that one. Bend it round, put it through. Okay, and then you just need to anchor that one down so that it's in line with the others on this one. So you repeat all the way across, and then you do 1 DC in the top of the turn-in chain, which is here. So just going to go into that one. If I can get it in there. That's it. Which anchors that one down to the one below. So there you can see all my little popcorns, all looking a bit odd at the moment, but when you wiggle them around, they come back in line with each other. And that's the end of row 4. You're now going to just continue repeating row 3 and row 4. So I'm just going to quickly show you again row 3. So you've come to the end, so you're chaining 3. Okay, and you're turning around and you're working into the top of the chain 3 space. So if you remember rightly, we were doing 2 doubles into this space. 1, 2, a half treble. So that's yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Finding the gap between the popcorns and work a treble. Finding your next chain 3 space, double crochet, insert hook, yarn over, pull through 2, insert hook, yarn over, pull through 2, so 2 doubles, yarn over for half treble, insert hook, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, pull through all 3 loops, find the gap between the 2 and work a treble. And you work the same all the way along, working in your chain 3 loops that you created on the previous round, all the way along on top of your popcorns to the last one, which is sort of hidden. There he is on your last one. So doing 2 double crochets, 1 half treble, and then in the gap in between your popcorns, this gap here, you pull it apart slightly, it's easier to see. You're working a treble on each one of those. You work all the way along, and then you do into your last one in your turning chain at the end, you're doing a treble in that turning end. Then you're chaining 1, you're turning your work, and then you start working on your popcorns again. So I hope that is quite clear. As you can see, they're all different sizes. So this one I did slightly differently because I wanted a more tighter pattern. This one here you could use for if you wanted more of a gap between them, but I've done them slightly differently. But the stitch itself, the popcorn stitch, is exactly the same. Depending on the pattern you're using, they might have different ways for you to return your work so that you're going backwards and forwards on it, because you'll always work the popcorns when they're facing you. Okay, I hope that's clear. If not, let me know.